Welcome back. In our previous video, we have seen how to solve a system of linear equations using Gauss elimination method. So I have explained what is forward elimination step and what is backward substitution step. We will find the solution to the given system of equations in two steps, right? Now I have told you in the last video that the Gauss elimination method has two disadvantages. So these two drawbacks or these two disadvantages can be eliminated by using pivoting techniques. So first let us see what are the disadvantages of Gauss elimination method. The two major disadvantages of Gauss elimination method is division by zero and round off errors. These are the possibilities that might occur in certain situations. So as you know, this numerical analysis subject, we are going to write programs to implement these methods. Let us assume we have a system of equations in which the first term is 0. Okay, so suppose you have a matrix, you are writing the augmented matrix in that this first term itself is 0. So this happens when you don't have the first variable in the given set of equations. Say for example, your first equation is 3y plus 4z equals to 8. 2x minus y plus 2z equals to 3, something like this. Now see, there is no x term in the first equation. So when you are writing the augmented matrix, the first row, first element is going to be 0. So you will have 0, 3, 4, 8, 2, minus 1, 2, 3. So like this you are going to write the augmented matrix. So now this first element is 0 here. You know that for elimination step, we are going to use formula like this. R2 dash is equal to R2 minus A21 divided by A11 into R1. Okay, this is the formula we will be using in order to make this number as 0. Similar formula we will write for R3 also, third row as well. When we use programming to implement this procedure, as per the formula we have A11 in the denominator and A11 is 0 for this particular set of equations. So this will lead to division by 0 error. Another error that you might get is round off errors. Suppose the numbers are very small. Say if you have 10 power minus 5x plus 1x, okay, 1x over here. So when you subtract this, 10 power minus 5 is 0.00001. In this situation, if you use something like a 3-digit accuracy or 4-digit accuracy, then you're going to use some round off or chopping method in order to remove the excess digits. Then again you will be left over with just zeros. Okay, this is a possible error which you might get in case you are having coefficients which are very small. So these are the two disadvantages of the normal Gauss elimination method. We can overcome these disadvantages by using pivoting techniques. So there are two pivoting techniques. One is partial pivoting and one is total pivoting. So what is a pivot element? It is a reference element using which we are going to solve the question. So in our previous formula, A11 was the pivot element. Using that, I am going to make the elements A21 and A31 as zeros, right? So that pivot element cannot be 0. If it is 0, you will get errors or your program might get terminated. To avoid this, we are going to bring the maximum element in the pivot position. So for that, we have two techniques. One is the partial pivoting and one is the total pivoting. Let us see the details of these two techniques. Now let us learn partial pivoting and total pivoting. If you have not yet watched our previous video about Gauss elimination method, please watch it, otherwise you will not understand this step. So in Gauss elimination, the first step was forward elimination step and the second step is backward substitution step. Backward substitution step does not change even under pivoting techniques. We are going to apply this pivoting strategy only for the first forward elimination step. Okay, so how to do this is we are applying a set of formula in order to make those elements 0, right? The triangle elements are made 0 by using the reference number. So in partial pivoting technique, before writing those formulas, we are going to find out which is the maximum element in the first column. So that row is interchanged with the first row. So identify the maximum element in the first column and replace that row, whichever row contains that maximum element in the first column. replace that row with the first row. Then you use those formulas. Okay, then you write the formula for R2 and R3. Same formula is applied. You will write A11 in the denominator. Okay, exactly same as we have written earlier. R3 dash is going to be R3 minus A31 divided by A11 into R1. Same formula you will apply. This procedure is repeated before writing every set of formula. So you know, after making the first two elements 0, we are going to make the next element 0 as well. Identify max element in second column. Leave the first row and in the second column accept the first value, see which all elements are there, and among that which is the highest one. So that is replaced with second row. Okay, replace that row with second row if necessary. When you will replace, only if some other row contains a bigger element, only then you are going to replace. Then you write usual formula for R3 double dash, whatever formula you are going to write, whatever we have written in our forward substitution method, the same formula you are going to write here as well. Okay, this is partial pivoting technique. So what you do in total pivoting is the same procedure, but instead of just first column, here you are checking in first column, and then before you write your next set of formula, you are checking in the second column, right? So what you do here in total pivoting is identify maximum element in the coefficient matrix, not just in the first column. You're going to check in the entire matrix, not the right hand side values. Ignore right hand side values. In the left hand side values, which is basically coefficients of all the variables, in that which is the highest, that is brought to the first position by interchanging both row as well as column with the first one. Okay, first row, first column. Again, we are going to apply the same set of formula here, and this procedure is repeated excluding the first row and first column. We are going to check whichever is the maximum element in the remaining matrix. Now let us solve a question using partial pivoting as well as total pivoting. We are going to solve a single question using both these methods. Then you can easily understand the difference between the methods. Here we have a question which is using Gauss elimination method. We need to solve the system of linear equations using partial pivoting is the question. We are going to solve it first using partial pivoting. Then we will solve it using total pivoting also. Okay, so first we will solve using partial pivoting method. What is step 1? Forward elimination step. So first we will write augmented matrix. Augmented matrix, we will write all the coefficients and also the RHS values. So it is 1, 1, 1. Here we have 6. Then 3, 3, 4. 20, 2, 1, 3, 13. So we have written the augmented matrix. Now we have to write the formula in order to make these two elements 3 and 2 0. These three elements we need to make it 0, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, these three elements must be made 0 using this as the pivot element. Now since I am doing partial pivoting, before I apply the formula, first I adjust my pivot element. How to do it? First I will check in the first column which is the highest element. In the first column which is the highest element? 3. In which row it is present? It is in second row. Okay, so this is interchanged with first row. By replacing R2 with R1, we are going to get 3, 3, 4. In the first row, replace RHS value also 1, 1, 1, 6. Here we have 2, 1, 3, 13. Now see, we have got the highest element. The maximum element is there as the pivot element. See, now we have got the highest element as the pivot element. Now we will apply the formula. So what is the formula? R2 dash is equal to R2 minus A21 A11 into R1 and R3 equals to R3 minus A31 by A11 into R1. Okay. Now we will substitute A21, A11 and A31, A11. These values we will substitute and we will write the clear formula. So what is R2 dash? It is R2 minus A21 is this one now, second row first element, which is 1 by A11 is first row first element, which is 3 into R1. This is the formula. For R3, the formula is R3 minus A31 by A11, which is 2 by 3 R1. Using these two formula, we will rewrite the augmented matrix. First row does not change. Now I will calculate all these values. So R2 is equal to R2 minus, what is R2? 1 minus 1 by 3 into 3. So this gets cancelled and you get 0 as the first element. Next element I will take 1 minus 1 by 3 into 3 again, which is also 0. Now the next value is 1 minus 1 by 3 into 4, which is 1 minus 4 by 3, which is minus 1 by 3. So we will write minus 1 by 3 here. And then the next one is 6 minus 1 by 3 into 20, which is 18 minus 20 by 3, which is minus 2 by 3. So we will write minus 2 by 3 here. So this is for the second row formula. Now we will write the values for the third row. So what is third row? It is R3 minus 2 by 3 R1. So what is R3? It is 2 minus 2 by 3 into the first row values, which gets cancelled and you get 0. Next is, so you get minus 1. One minus 2, yeah. And the last one is 3 minus 2 by 3 into 4, which is 9 minus 8 by 3, which is 1 by 3. The RHS value is 13 minus 2 by 3 into 20. So we get 39 minus 40 by 3, which is again minus 1 by 3. Now if you observe, see, we have got 0 here already. So there is no need of another set of formula. But in case you don't get 0 here, then you need to check in this column, in the second column, leaving the first row, in this which is a maximum element. So that is what you have to check before applying the next set of formula. So whichever is maximum, that row is to be replaced with the second row. Okay, so here it is not necessary because we already have 0 here. Now let us solve the next step, that is backward substitution step. So basically what is the intention of forward elimination step is, we are going to remove two variables from one of the rows, and we are going to remove one variable from another row. So the first equation that we are going to use is the one with just one variable. We are going to use the second row first because x1, x2 both the elements are 0 here. We have only x3. So we will find the answer for that one first. So it is minus 1 by 3 x3 is equal to minus 2 by 3. So this is as per row 2, right? Now 3 and 3 gets cancelled and negatives, two negatives become positive. So x3 is equal to 2. We've got the value for x3. Now we will find out the value of x2 by using the last equation. As per last equation, there is no x1. We have x2 and x3. So the last row, third row, is minus x2 plus 1 by 3 into x3 is equal to minus 1 by 3. We will simplify this. Minus x2 is equal to minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 x3. I am just taking this 1 by 3 x3 to RHS. So I have minus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3 into x3 is 2. So minus 1 minus 2 by 3 is minus 3 by 3, which is minus 1. Therefore, x2 is 1. Minus x2 is minus 1. So plus x2 will be 1. Now we will use this first row. 3x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 equals to 20. 3x1 plus 3x2 plus 4x3 equals to 20. So x1 is what we need to know here. So 3 into x2 is 1 plus 4 into x3 is 2 equals to 20. So 3x1, this is plus 3 plus 8 equals to 20. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11 goes to RHS. It becomes minus 11. 20 minus 11 is 9. So now x1 is 3. Okay. So we have completed our solution. We have completed our backward substitution step. And based on this, what is the solution set? x1 is 3, x2 is 1 and x3 is 2. This is our solution set. This is as per partial pivoting technique, wherein I am going to first check the first column, see whichever is the maximum element, replace it with first row and make these two numbers 0. Then before applying the next formula, I have to ignore the first row. In the second column, ignoring first row, I have to check which is the maximum number. That is to be replaced with second row if necessary. But here we don't have to replace because it is already 0. So we are not going to write one more formula here. We are directly going to use the second equation, find out value of x3. Using x3, we are going to find value of x2. Using these two values, we will find the value of x1 also. This is partial pivoting technique. Now we will see how to solve this same equation using total pivoting technique. Under total pivoting technique also the first step is same. So the first step is where you are going to write the augmented matrix. So the first step is writing augmented matrix, which we have written. So next is your forward elimination. Now you are going to consider which is the maximum element in the entire coefficient matrix. So not just in the first column, you will select in this entire matrix. We are not going to consider this one. Okay, we are not going to consider the RHS values. In this coefficient matrix, which is the maximum number, this one, okay, which is present in second row, third column. Okay, it is present in second row, third column. So we have to do two interchanging. That is, second row should be replaced, second row should be interchanged with first row, and third column should be interchanged with first column. Okay, understand, wherever is your maximum element, that should be brought here. This should be brought here. Okay, for this you have to interchange row as well as column. Which one you interchange first doesn't matter. You can first interchange row, then interchange column, or first interchange column, then interchange row. Both are same. Okay, so we will interchange row first. After interchanging row, I am going to get second row here and first row comes here. Now after interchanging row, next I am going to interchange column. So column 3 is to be interchanged with column 1. So after interchanging column 3 with column 1, 4, 1, 3, which is your third column, comes in the first position. Second column remains as it is. This one goes here. Okay. So you get 3, 1, 2 here, and RHS values remain same. Now this is your matrix. With this matrix you have to apply the formulas now. So now what are the formulas to be applied? R2 dash is equal to R2 minus A21 by A11 into R1. So you are going to get R2 minus, what is A21? This element 1 divided by A11 is 4 into R1, and R3 dash is equal to R3 minus A31 by A11 into R1, which is R3 minus A31 is this 3 divided by A11 is 4 into R1. These are the two formulas. Using these two formulas, we are going to write the reduced matrix now, similar to our previous step. You can solve it along with me. R2, for R2, it is 1 minus 1 by 4 into 4, which gives 0. Then 1 minus 1 by 4 into 3, which is 1 minus 3 by 4 is 1 by 4. Then 1 minus 1 by 4 into 3 again, which gives 1 by 4. Then 6 minus 1 by 4 into 20. So 5 is 20. So this gives 1. So first row doesn't change. First row is 4, 3, 3, 20. Second row is now 0, 1 by 4, 1 by 4 and 1. Okay. Now we will write elements for third row. Third row formula is R3 minus 3 by 4 R1. So I will write values for R3 here. So it is 3 minus 3 by 4 into 4. First element is supposed to be 0 only. 1 minus 3 by 4 into 3. So which is 4 minus 9 by 4, which is minus 5 by 4. It is 2 minus 3 by 4 into 3, which gives 8 minus 9 by 4, which is minus 1 by 4. And the last value is 13 minus 3 by 4 into 20. So this is 5, 15, 13 minus 15, we get minus 2. So these are the last values, last row values. We will replace that now. So this is 0, and then here we have minus 5 by 4. And then the next value is minus 1 by 4 and then minus 2. So minus 1 by 4 minus 2. So using the first set of formula, we made these two numbers 0, right? So next we have to check in the remaining values. So before we apply the second set of formula, now we need to check which is the maximum element in the coefficient matrix excluding first row and first column. Initially, for our first set of formula, how did we choose the pivot element? We choose this as a pivot element by checking whichever is the maximum element in this entire coefficient matrix. Now for the second set of formula, I am not going to consider first row and first column. I will check in this part which is a maximum number. That number should be brought to this position, okay, which is your pivot element. Now you see which is the maximum number. Negative numbers will not be maximum. In positive numbers, maximum is 1 by 4 only, and that 1 by 4 is already present here. So we don't have to do any interchanging. Suppose you have 3 by 4, suppose, then this is a maximum number. No, this has to be brought to this position, which is not necessary now, since 1 by 4 itself is the maximum element in the reduced matrix, which is already in the pivot position. So we can straight away write our next set of formula, which is R3 double dash is equal to R3 dash minus, we are going to use this element as the pivot element, which is A22 into R2, and here we have A32, which is third row second element divided by second row second element into R2 dash. To know how to write this formula, you can refer the previous video again, okay, the Gauss elimination video. You can check once to know how to write these formulas. Now I will write the reduced matrix again. So we are making changes only for the third row. So first and second row does not change. So I'm going to write it as it is. This is your second row, and now let us write values only for the third row. So first row, first element is anyways it is 0. Even after applying the formula, you are going to get 0 only. Now I'll write third row values for the remaining elements. It's R3 minus, what is the formula here? R3 minus A32 is minus 5 by 4 divided by A22 is 1 by 4 into R2 dash. This 4 gets cancelled. Minus and minus 5 becomes plus 5. So the formula is R3 plus 5R2. Okay, that is the formula. So we are going to use that formula here. Minus 5 by 4 plus 5 into 1 by 4, which is plus 5 by 4, which gets cancelled and you get 0 here. Next element is minus 1 by 4 plus 5 into again 1 by 4. It is minus 1 by 4 plus 5 by 4 gives you 5 minus 1, 4 by 4, which is 1. And the last value is minus 2 plus 5 into 1, which is 5 minus 2, 3. So this is our reduced matrix. So we are done with forward elimination step. We have got these three elements 0. So our forward elimination step is done. Now we will go to the second step, which is backward substitution. You have to be slightly careful when you substitute the formulas. We have interchanged columns. In partial pivoting, we interchange only row. So make sure when you interchange the columns, which column refers to which coefficients. So basically, see here we have interchanged third column with first column. Means this is going to be the coefficients of x3 and this is going to be the coefficients of x1. Okay, just make sure of that before you write the formulas. Here we have done only one column interchange, which is this is going to be x3 coefficients, this is going to be x1 coefficient, and this is x2 coefficient. So with that in mind, we can now write the equations. So that is one thing that might be confusing to many students. So this is x3 and this refers x1. Okay, because we have done before applying our first set of formula, we have interchanged column 3 with column 1. So now we'll start with the last equation. As per last equation, x1 is 3. Then we will write our second row. So this first row represents x3, which is not there. So our equation has x2 and x1. So it is 1 by 4 x2 plus 1 by 4 x1 equals to 1. Substitute this 1 by 4 x2 plus x1 is 3, so you're going to get 3 by 4 equals to 1. 3 by 4 goes to RHS, it becomes 1 minus 3 by 4, which is 1 by 4 itself. So 1 by 4 x2 is equal to 1 by 4, implies x2 is equal to 1. Okay. Now we will find out what is the value of x3 using our first row. So as per first row, 4x3 plus 3x2 plus 3x1, it is equal to 20. Okay. Now x3 is what we don't know. 3 into x2 is 1 and x1 is 3 equals to 20. So 4x3 plus, this is 3 plus 9, 12 equals to 20. So we get 4x3 equals to 8, which means x3 equals to 2. Okay. So now we will write all the three answers. So what is x1? x1 we get 3, x2 is 1 and x3 is 2. So 3, 1, 2 is our solution set. If you compare with partial pivoting, we have got the same answer here also. x1 is 3, x2 is 1 and x3 is 2. So just be careful with this one step in your total pivoting. If you have changed columns, only then you will have to be sure about which column represents which variable. Okay, when you are using this backward substitution method, make sure of the column coefficients which represents the variables. So that's it for this video. In our next video, we are going to see how to solve system of linear equations using other methods that are included in this chapter. So we are going to see LU decomposition method and Jacobi method and Seidel method in the upcoming videos. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and share it along with your friends. See you in the next video. Bye bye.